Japan Airlines Company, Limited, is an airline headquartered in Shinagawa, Tokyo, Japan. It is the flag carrier of Japan and its main hubs are Tokyo's Narita International Airport and Tokyo International Airport, as well as Osaka's Kansai International Airport and Osaka International Airport. The airline and three of his subsidiaries are members of the Oneworld Airline Alliance. JAL Group companies include Japan Airlines for international and domestic services, JAL Express for international and domestic low-cost services, JAL, Japan Air Commuter, Japan Transocean Air and Ryukyu Air Commuter for domestic feeder services, and JAL Cargo for cargo and mail services. JAL Group operations include scheduled and non-scheduled international and domestic passenger and cargo services to 220 destinations in 35 countries worldwide, including codeshares. The group has a fleet of 279 aircraft. In the fiscal year ended March 31, 2009, the airline group carried over 52 million passengers and over 1.1 million tons of cargo and mail. JAL was established in 1951 and became the national airline of Japan in 1953. After over 3 decades of service and expansion, the airline was fully privatized in 1987. In 2002, the airline merged with Japan Air System, Japan's third-largest airline, and became the sixth-largest airline in the world by passengers carried. Japan Airlines is currently an official sponsor of Japan Football Association, Japan national football team, Shimizu Pulse and Consadole Sapporo. The second largest in Japan, All Nippon Airways, is Japan Airlines' main rival with fierce competition between the two airlines. History, Regulated Era, Founding. Japan Airlines Company, Limited was established on August 1, 1951, with the government of Japan recognizing the need for a reliable air transportation system to help Japan grow in the aftermath of the World War II. The airline was founded with an initial capital of 100 million yen, and its headquarters located in Ginza, Ka, Tokyo. Between 27 and 29 August, the airline operated invitational flights on a Douglas DC-3 Kansai, leased from Philippine Airlines. On October 25, Japan's first post-war domestic airline service was inaugurated, using a Martin II-0-2 aircraft, named Mokusei, and crew leased from Northwest Airlines. On August 1, 1953, the Diet of Japan passed the Japan Airlines Company Act, forming a new state-owned Japan Airlines on October 1, which assumed all assets and liabilities of its private predecessor. By 1953 the JAL network extended northward from Tokyo to Sapporo and Mizuho, and westward to Nagoya, Osaka, Iwakuni and Fukuoka. On February 2, 1954 the airline began international flights, carrying 18 passengers from Tokyo to San Francisco on a Douglas DC-6B City of Tokyo via Wake Island in Honolulu. The flights between Tokyo and San Francisco are still Flights 1 and 2. To commemorate its first international service. The early flights were advertised as being operated by American crews and serviced by United Airlines in San Francisco. The airline, in addition to the Douglas DC-3, Douglas DC-6B and Martina II-0-2s, operated Douglas DC-4 and Douglas DC-7C during the 1950s. JAL flew to Hong Kong via Okinawa by 1955, having pared down its domestic network to Tokyo, Osaka, Fukuoka and Sapporo. By 1958 the Hong Kong route had been extended to Bangkok and Singapore. With DC-7CS JAL was able to fly non-stop between Seattle and Tokyo in 1959. Jet era. In 1960 the airline took delivery of its first jet, a Douglas DC-8 named Fuji, introducing jet service on the Tokyo-Honolulu-San Francisco route. JAL went on to operate a fleet of 51 DC-8s, retiring the last of the type in 1987. Fuji flew until 1974 and was then used as a maintenance training platform until 1989. Its nose section was stored at Haneda Airport and eventually put on public display at the JAL Sky Museum in March 2014. JAL also began flying to Seattle and Hong Kong in 1960. At the end of 1961, JAL had transpolar flights from Tokyo to Seattle, Copenhagen, London and Paris via Anchorage, Alaska, and to Los Angeles and San Francisco via Honolulu, Hawaii. During the 1960s, JAL flew to many new cities including Moscow, New York and Busan. DC-8 flights to Europe via Anchorage started in 1961. Flights to Europe via India started in 1962, initially with Convair 880s. By 1965, Japan Airlines was headquartered in the Tokyo building in Marunouchi, Chiyoda, Tokyo. By this time, over half of JAL's revenue was generated on trans-Pacific routes to the United States, and the airline was lobbying the United States for fifth freedom rights to fly transatlantic routes from the East Coast. The trans-Pacific route was extended east from San Francisco to New York in November 1966 and to London in 1967. Flights between San Francisco and London ended in December 1972. Between 1967 and 1969, JAL had an agreement with Aeroflot to operate a joint service between Tokyo and Moscow using a Soviet Tupolev Tu-114. The flight crew included one JAL member, and the cabin crew had 5 members each from Aeroflot and JAL. The weekly flight started in April 1967. In May, the schedule was 10 hours 35 minutes Moscow to Tokyo and 11 hours 25 minutes to return. In 1972, under the 45/47 system, the so-called Aviation Constitution enacted by the Japanese government, JAL was granted flag carrier status to operate international routes. The airline was also designated to operate domestic trunk routes in competition with all Nippon Airways and TOE domestic airlines. The signing of a civil air transport agreement between the People's Republic of China and Japan on April 20, 1974, caused the suspension of air routes between the Republic of China and Japan on April 21. A new subsidiary, Japan Asia Airways, was established on August 8, 1975, and air services between the two countries were restored on September 15. During the 1970s, the airline bought the Boeing 727, Boeing 747 and McDonnell Douglas DC-10 for its growing routes within Japan and to other countries. In the 1980s, the airline performed special flights for the Crown Prince Akihito and Crown Princess Michiko of Japan, Pope John Paul II, and for Japanese prime ministers, until the introduction of the dedicated government aircraft using two Boeing 747-400, operated as Japanese Air Force One and Japanese Air Force Two. During that decade, the airline introduced new Boeing 747-100 Steradians, Boeing 747 SUD and Boeing 767 jets to the fleet, and retired the Boeing 727s and Douglas DC-8s. In 1978, JAL started flights to Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro via Anchorage and San Juan. The stopover was changed to Los Angeles in 1982 and to New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport in 1999. Until 2009, the airline operated Fifth Freedom flights between New York and Sao Paulo and between Vancouver and Mexico City. Deregulated era. Japan began considering airline deregulation in the late 1970s, with the government announcing the abandoning of the 45/47 system in 1985. In 1987, Japan Airlines was completely privatized, and the other two airlines in Japan, All Nippon Airways and Japan Air System, were permitted to compete with JAL on domestic and international routes. Increased competition resulted in changes to the airline's corporate structure, and it was reorganized into 3 divisions: international passenger service, domestic passenger service, and cargo service. Japan Airlines began the 1990s with flights to evacuate Japanese citizens from Iraq before the start of the Gulf War. In October 1990, Japan Air Charter was established, and in September 1996 an agreement with the Walt Disney Company was announced, making Japan Airlines the official airline of Tokyo Disneyland. JAL Express was established in April 1997, with Boeing 737 aircraft. In the 1990s, the airline encountered further economic difficulties stemming from recessions in the United States and United Kingdom, plus a domestic downturn. Following years of profit since 1986, the airline began to post operating losses in 1992. Cost-cutting, including the formation of the low-cost JAL Express domestic subsidiary and the transfer of tourist operations to JALways, helped return the airline to profitability in 1999. In 1997, the airline flew Japanese Prime Minister Ryutaro Hashimoto to Peru to help negotiate in the Japanese embassy hostage crisis. Japan Airlines placed orders for Boeing 777s during the 1990s, allowing for fleet renewal. It was one of 8 airlines participating in the Boeing 777 design process, shaping the design to their specifications. Jas Merger. In 2001, Japan Air System and Japan Airlines agreed to merge. And on October 2, 2002, they established a new holding company called Japan Airlines System, forming a new core of the JAL Group. Aircraft liveries were changed to match the design of the new JAL Group. At that time, the merged group of airlines was the 6th largest in the world by passengers carried. On April 1, 2004, JAL changed its name to Japan Airlines International and JAS changed its name to Japan Airlines Domestic. JAS flight codes were changed to JAL flight codes, JAS check-in desks were refitted in JAL livery and JAS aircraft were gradually repainted. On June 26, 2004, the parent company Japan Airlines System was renamed to Japan Airlines Corporation. Following the merger, 2 companies operated under the JAL brand, Japan Airlines International and Japan Airlines Domestic. Japan Airlines Domestic had primary responsibility for JAL's large network of intra-Japan flights, while JAL International operated both international and trunk domestic flights. On October 1, 2006, Japan Airlines International and Japan Airlines Domestic merged into a single brand, Japan Airlines International. The airline applied to join Oneworld on October 25, 2005. Japan Airlines claimed that its Oneworld membership would be in the best interests of the airline's plans to further develop the airline group and its strong commitment to provide the very best to its customers. Japan Airlines, together with Muller Copyright V and Royal Jordanian, joined the alliance on April 1, 2007. On April 1, 2008, JAL merged the operations of its subsidiary Japan Asia Airways into JAL mainline operations. JAA had operated all JAL Group flights between Japan and Taiwan between 1975 and 2008 as a separate entity due to the special political status of Taiwan. Restructuring. In 2009, Japan Airlines suffered steep financial losses, despite remaining Asia's largest airline by revenue. As a result, the airline embarked on staff cuts and route cutbacks in an effort to reduce costs. The carrier also received a 100 billion yen credit line from the Japanese government that year. In September 2009, Japan's Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism formed a task force aimed at aiding a corporate turnaround at JAL, which examined various cost-cutting and strategic partnership proposals. One proposal considered was to merge JAL with ANA, which would create a single larger international airline and replace Japan Airlines International. However, media reports suggested that this proposal would be opposed by ANA given its comparatively better financial performance as an independent carrier. The task force also examined possible partnerships with foreign carriers. After weeks of speculation, JAL applied for court protection under the Corporate Rehabilitation Law or a Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing, on January 19, 2010. JAL expects to receive a 300 yen a billion cash injection and have debts worth a 730 yen a billion waived, in exchange for which it will cut its capital to zero, cut unprofitable routes and reduce its workforce by 15,700 employees, a third of its 47,000 total. JAL's main creditors originally objected to the bankruptcy declaration, but changed their mind after the Enterprise Turnaround Initiative Corporation of Japan recommended court protection, according to a senior bank official. Shares of JAL were delisted from the Tokyo Stock Exchange on February 20, 2010. Kazuo Inamori, founder of Kyocera and KDDI, took over as CEO of JAL. Transport Minister Seiji Maehara personally visited Kyocera headquarters in late 2009 in order to persuade Inamori to accept the position. Task Force leader Shinjiro Takagi believed that it was necessary to appoint a proven entrepreneur as CEO in order to fix the various problems at JAL. Japan Air Commuter President Masaru Onishi was promoted to president of JAL. In May, JAL began to see an increase in its passenger numbers by 1.1% year-on-year. In August, it was reported that JAL would cut 19,133 jobs from its workforce of 47,000 by the end of March 2015 whilst also increasing capacity in an attempt to make the business viable. Rivalry between Delta and American. Although JAL ultimately exited bankruptcy while remaining in the Oneworld alliance, JAL was seriously considering accepting a strategic investment from Delta Airlines and joining the SkyTeam alliance during the period between September 2009 and February 2010. JAL also had talks with SkyTeam members Air France KLM and Korean Air regarding their potential involvement. The Delta deal was favored by the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism because Delta had an extensive global network and had the largest Japanese operation of any foreign airline, which it had inherited through its merger with Northwest Airlines. MLIT also supported a transaction with Air France KLM because it was a healthier company than American. American planned to team up with Oneworld Alliance members British Airways and Qantas to make a joint offer to recapitalize JAL. British Airways said that it was attempting to persuade JAL to remain part of Oneworld rather than aligning itself with Delta and SkyTeam, while American CEO Gerard Arpey said that American and Oneworld remained committed to a partnership with Japan Airlines, as long as it remained a major international carrier, and reiterated his encouragement for JAL to stay with Oneworld during ceremonies to welcome Mexusana into the alliance. In an interview with the Asahi Shimbun on January 1, 2010, JAL President Haruka Nishimatsu stated his preference in forming a partnership with Delta over American, and the Yomiuri Shimbun reported shortly thereafter that JAL and the Japanese government-backed Enterprise Turnaround Initiative Corporation would likely choose to form a business and capital tie-up with Delta, as part of which JAL would enter SkyTeam and reduce its international flight operations in favor of code-share agreements with Delta, and that American Airlines had begun procedures to end negotiations with JAL. Both JAL and American denied the report. The Wall Street Journal then reported that American Airlines raised its JAL investment offer by $300 a million, to $1.4 billion, and in separate comments to the press, Delta President Ed Bastian said that Delta was willing and able to raise additional capital through third-party resources. After JAL filed for bankruptcy, there were further media reports that JAL would leave Oneworld in favor of SkyTeam, but JAL President Masaru Onishi said on February 1 that the new JAL leadership was seriously reviewing the issue from scratch, without being influenced by previous discussions, and its decision on an alliance partner would be made soon. On February 7, several news outlets reported that JAL would decide to keep its alliance with American Airlines and end talks with Delta. Inamori and ETIC officials, according to the reports, decided that switching alliances from Oneworld to SkyTeam would be too risky and could hinder JAL's ability to turn around quickly. 2 days later, JAL officially announced that they would strengthen their partnership with American, including a joint application for antitrust immunity on trans-Pacific routes. The airline would also fortify its relationship with other partners in the Oneworld alliance. Post-bankruptcy developments, JAL emerged from bankruptcy protection in March 2011. In July, ETIC announced its selection of Nomura Holdings, Daiwa Securities, Mitsubishi UFJ, Morgan Stanley, Mizuho Securities, SMBC and Nikko Securities to underwrite the sale of its equity stake in JAL, without specifying amounts or dates. On January 6, 2012, JAL announced its intent to relist its shares on the Tokyo Stock Exchange in an initial public offering of up to $1 trillion, which would be the largest offering in Japan in more than a year. The airline completed its IPO on the first section of the Tokyo Stock Exchange on September 19, 2012. The Enterprise Turnaround Initiative Corporation of Japan sold all its holdings in JAL for 650 billion yen, greater than its 350 billion yen investment in 2010. Even though it was oversubscribed several times, post-IPO increase of the stock was close to 1%. Following its exit from bankruptcy protection, JAL began several new partnerships within the Oneworld alliance. The Trans-Pacific joint venture between JAL and American commenced in April 2011. JAL announced the formation of Jetstar Japan, a low-cost carrier joint venture with Qantas subsidiary Jetstar Airways, in July. In 2012, JAL and British Airways parent company International Airlines Group submitted applications to the Japanese government and European Union respectively in seeking a joint venture business operation for flights between Japan and Europe. Finnair applied to join the JV with IAG in July 2013, in conjunction with JAL starting new non-stop service to Helsinki. Corporate Affairs and Identity, Organization. In addition to its operations under the JAL name, the airline owns 5 domestic airlines which feed or supplement mainline JAL flights: J-Air Euro regional jet services from Tokyo, Nagoya and Osaka, JAL Express Euro low-cost jet services between secondary cities, Japan Air Commuter Euro turboprop services in western Japan, mainly including Amami Islands. Japan Transocean Air Eurojet services in Okinawa Prefecture and the Amami Islands, Ryukyu Air Commuter Euro turboprop services in Okinawa Prefecture and the Amami Islands. JALways was the airline's international subsidiary, which handled low-yield flights to resort destinations in Hawaii, Oceania and Southeast Asia. JALUX Incorporated, established in 1962, is the airline's procurement business which handles various work for the company, including the JAL selection merchandise and in-flight meals and refreshments. Supplies for Blue Sky and JAL DFS shops. Aircraft fuel components, cabin services and in-flight duty-free. JALUX merged with JAS Trading on January 1, 2004, to unify support operations for the JAL Group. JAL Cargo is the brand of the airline group's freight service and is a member of the WOW Cargo Alliance with the following products: J-Speed, General Cargo and Dangerous Goods. In the fiscal year ended March 31, 2009, the cargo division carried 500,779 tons of freight domestically and 627,213 tons of freight internationally. On April 1, 2011, the airline changed its trade name from Japan Airlines International Company, Limited to Japan Airlines Company, Limited. Headquarters. The headquarters, the Nomura Fudosan Tennoza Building, is located on Tennoza Isle in Higashi Shinagawa, Shinagawa, Tokyo. The 26-floor building was a project of the Kojima Corporation. The building, which also has 2 underground levels, has a land area of 11,670.4 square meters and a floor area of 82,602.11 square meters. Several divisions of JAL, including JAL Pack, JAL Aero Consulting, and JAL Hotels are located in the building. The building also houses the Japan office of American Airlines. It is also known as the JAL Building, the Japan Airlines headquarters, and the Shinagawa Kyoto Building. When JAL was originally established in 1951, its headquarters were in Ginza, Chuo, Tokyo. By 1965, Japan Airlines was headquartered in the Tokyo Building in Marunouchi, Chiyoda, Tokyo. The Yomiuri Shimbun stated that because Japan Airlines worked closely with the Japanese government, people mockingly referred to the Tokyo Building as a branch office of the Transport Ministry. On June 28, 1996, construction was completed on the JAL Building. On July 27, 1996, JAL moved its headquarters into the JAL Building. The Flight Operations Center at the JAL Building began on September 20, 1996. A holding company for JAL and Japan Airlines System, a carrier merging into JAL, was established on October 2, 2002. The head office of that company, Japan Airlines System, was in 2-15-1 Kanan in Shinagawa Intercity, Minato, Tokyo. On August 11, 2003, the headquarters of JAS moved from Haneda Maintenance Center 1 to the JAL Building. On November 25, 2003, the JALS headquarters moved to the JAL Building. Originally the JAL building was co-owned by Japan Airlines and Mitsubishi Trading Company. They co-owned a subsidiary that owned the JAL building. In 2004 the companies announced that the building was to be sold to Nomura Real Estate for 65 billion yen. The contract date was December 1, 2004, and the handover date was March 18, 2005. The JAL subsidiary JALUX Incorporated at one time had its headquarters in the JAL building. One group of employees moved out of the building on July 26, 2010, and one moved out on August 2, 2010. Livery, logo and basic liveries. The JAL livery is called the Chumar or crane circle. It is an image of a Japanese red crown crane with its wings extended in full flight. The Chumar JAL logo was created in 1958 by Jerry Huff, the creative director at Botsford, Constantine and Gardner of San Francisco, which had been the advertising agency for Japan Airlines from its earliest days. JAL had used several logos up until 1958. When the airline arranged to buy new DC-8, they decided to create a new official logo to announce the inauguration of their jet service worldwide. In the creation of the logo, Huff was inspired by the personal crests of samurai families. In a book Unregistered Trademark Deed been given, We Japanese, he found pages of crests, including the crane. On his choice of the crane, he writes, I had faith that it was the perfect symbol for Japan Airlines. I found that the crane myth was all positive. It mates for life, and flies high for miles without tiring. The Chumar livery was in use until 2002, when it was replaced by a livery called the Arc of the Sun. The livery featured the motif of a rising sun on a creamy parchment-colored background. JAL is a strong supporter of UNICEF and expresses its support by having a We Support UNICEF logo on each aircraft. On January 19, 2011, following its corporate restructuring, Japan Airlines announced that it would return to the classic Chumar logo starting on April 1, 2011. Special liveries. JAL is known for adopting special liveries. A Boeing 747 carries an Adidas soccer livery in 2002. Another Boeing 747 is the Matsui jet, featuring the famous Japanese baseball player Hideki Matsui in 2003. The airline's Boeing 767-300 is the Expo 2005 aircraft. Various aircraft in the JAL fleet carry a Yakuso Japan logo supporting the Visit Japan campaign. During late 2005, Japan Airlines began using a Boeing 777, featuring Japanese actor Shingo Katari on one side, and television series Ryukyu, along with its main character Goku on the other side. JAL is also known for its liveries featuring Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea, as it is the official airline of the Tokyo Disney Resort. They sponsor the attraction Star Jets, which feature a variation of the current livery on the ride vehicles. At one time there were more than 6 wide-body aircraft painted with the special liveries. JALways, whose fleet was entirely made of Boeing 747 aircraft, had painted all of its aircraft with tropical-influenced liveries along with Rizo Ichigo titles. These aircraft are used on charter flights to holiday destinations in the Pacific, such as Hawaii. Rizo Ichigo is a marketing abbreviation for resort charter. Rizo Ichigo planes were formerly known as JAL Super Resort Express. In April 2007, JAL debuted a Boeing 777-300 with a special Oneworld livery to promote the airline's entry to the Global Airline Alliance. Previously this aircraft carried the Shingo Katari and the Ryukyu television livery. In 2008, JAL repainted a single Boeing 777-200 to have a green rather than red arc on its tail, along with a green origami airplane on the fuselage, and named it the EcoJet, to highlight the company's efforts to reduce the environmental impact of commercial aviation. In 2009, JAL repainted January 8941 again, as well as a JTA 737-400 to promote Kubukuro and their new album Calling, as well as a live concert tour in Okinawa and around Japan. This livery was released officially on July 30, 2009. It has since then been replaced with a special Doraemon livery. On September 4, 2010, In conjunction with the Boku no Maiteru Fakari album, JAL and Arashi introduced a new livery featuring the 5 members of Arashi in the aircraft. The first flight was on the day after on September 5. Branding: Landa Associates created JAL's brand identity in 1989. After Japan Airlines and Japan Air System merged, the Tokyo office of Landa and JAL worked together to create a new brand identity. Landa decided to use the Arc of the Sun image. The 2003 branding began in April 2002 and completed in April 2004. The brand identity firm designed 300,000 specific items for JAL. JAL announced that it would again change its branding on April 1, 2011. Destinations: Japan Airlines serves 33 international destinations in Asia, the Americas, Europe and Oceania, excluding codeshares. The airline's international hubs are Tokyo's Narita International Airport and Haneda Airport, Osaka's Kansai International Airport and Osaka International Airport in Itami. The airline group also serves 59 domestic destinations within Japan. In the fiscal year ended March 31, 2009, the airline introduced or increased services on 10 international routes, including between Tokyo and New York, and between Osaka and Shanghai. And it ceased operations on 4 international routes, including between Tokyo and Xi'an, and between Osaka and Kongsei. Domestically, JAL suspended 14 routes, including between Sapporo and Okinawa. Additionally, the airline expanded code-sharing alliance with fellow Oneworld partners, British Airways and Finnair, and other airlines, including Air France, China Eastern and Jetstar. The airline also announced a code-share agreement with future Oneworld partner, Air Berlin. Partnerships and code-share agreements: Japan Airlines has code-share agreements or joint business agreements with the following Oneworld members. Apart from Oneworld partners, the airline also code-shares with the following airlines: Fleet, Passenger. Japan Airlines operates 116 passenger planes with a mixture of narrow and wide-body aircraft. The airline provides economy class service on all routes, Class J service on most major domestic routes, premium economy on some international routes, executive class on most long-haul and some short-haul international routes, and first class on some long-haul and domestic routes. For its Boeing fleet, Japan Airlines Boeing customer code is 46. As an example, a Boeing 777-200 ordered new by Japan Airlines bears the model name 777-246. As of April 2014, the Japan Airlines passenger fleet comprises the following aircraft. Fleet notes: the Boeing customer code for Japan Airlines is 7X7X46 for JAL International and 7X7X89 for JAL Domestic. The airline is one of the few in the world to operate 10 abreast seating in the economy cabin of the Boeing 777 fleet. The other airlines include ANA, Air Canada, Air France, China Southern, Emirates and KLM. JAL and ANA operate the 10 abreast seating in their Japan domestic fleet only. On December 22, 2004, JAL announced the selection of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner as its next-generation medium-size aircraft fleet. The airline is seeking 30 firm deliveries and 20 options, and joined other launch customers to be involved in the aircraft's future development. The airline later increased the firm order to 35 aircraft on April 3, 2007. Japan Airlines received the first Boeing 787 Dreamliner aircraft from Boeing on March 25, 2012. On June 30, 2005, the airline confirmed an order for 6 new Boeing 767-300ER aircraft, powered by General Electric's CF6-80C2 high-bypass turbofan engines. The 3 freighter and 3 passenger models, valued at approximately $800 million at list prices, were delivered between 2007 and 2008. On February 22, 2008, it was reported that the airline has been considering the new Airbus A350 made by EADS unit Airbus, the Boeing 787's direct competitor in the medium-size aircraft market. Japan Airlines spokesman Stephen Perlman said, "We have taken a look at the A350. As far as adding this aircraft to our fleet in future goes, I think it is one of the strong candidates. JAL ordered A350 aircraft on October 7, 2013. The order marks the first time JAL has ordered aircraft directly from Airbus. Cargo. JAL Cargo ended dedicated freighter aircraft operations in October 2010 after more than 30 years of service. It operated both propeller and jet aircraft through the years, most recently Boeing 747-400s and Boeing 767-300FS. Limited cargo activity is now maintained through JAL's passenger aircraft lower deck holds. Fleet history. The airline's last McDonnell Douglas MD-11J bird operated its final flight as Japan Airlines Flight 730 from Hong Kong International Airport to Narita International Airport on October 12, 2004. The aircraft was originally introduced into service on April 1, 1994. In addition, the airline operated its last two McDonnell Douglas DC-10 flights on October 31, 2005. One aircraft, January 8543, operated as Japan Airlines Flight 736 from Hong Kong International Airport to Narita International Airport, touchdown at 16:05. Another aircraft, January 8541, operated as Japan Airlines Flight 952 from Incheon International Airport to Narita International Airport, touchdown at 16:37. This marked the DC-10's last flight with the airline, ending over 30 years of operations for this model. The airline phased out three Boeing 747-200FS in the 2008 financial year, and operated its last Boeing 747-300 Classic Jumbo Jet as JAL's Flight 73 from Honolulu International Airport to Narita International Airport on July 30, 2009, after 26 years of service to the airline group. The aircraft was met on arrival by the father of the 747, Mr. Joseph F. Joe Sutter. One former JAL 747 Steradians is now being used as a NASA shuttle carrier aircraft. The airline retired its last Boeing 747 on March 1, 2011. The last flight was a flight from Honolulu International Airport to Narita International Airport, ending 41 years of service with the Boeing 747. Aircraft that have previously been in service with Japan Airlines are: JAL Cargo also operated freighter versions of the Boeing 747-100,400 and Douglas DC-68. Services, cabin classes, new cabin. JAL introduced new international first and executive class seats. The JAL Suite for first class featured a seat 20% roomier than the Sky Sleeper Solo in a 1-2-1 configuration. And the JAL Shell Flat Neo seat for executive class seasons, a slightly revised version of the original Shell Flat seat, with a wider seat. Expanded center console. And the world's first in-flight photo art exhibit, Sky Gallery. These seats, along with the premium economy seats, debuted on Japan Airlines Flights 5 and 6, operated on the Tokyo Euro-New York route on August 1, 2008. It expanded to the Tokyo Euro-San Francisco route on September 13, 2008, and the Tokyo Euro-Chicago and Los Angeles in 2009. Since October 31, 2010, the new cabin is also used on flights from Narita to Jakarta, being the only Asian destination for which the new cabin is used. 8 JAL suites and 77 JAL Shell Flat Neo seat are installed in each Boeing 777-300ER aircraft, with 46 premium economy and 115 economy seats taking up the rest of the aircraft cabin. The purpose is to improve income yield per passenger, while reducing fuel cost per passenger mile, utilizing the most efficient aircraft available. International services. The airline's international services with existing cabins feature the fully reclining first-class Sky Sleeper Solo or Sky Sleeper. Executive class seasons Shell Flat seat or Sky Lux seat. Premium economy Sky Shell seat. And economy class. The first-class Sky Sleeper Solo reclines fully and features genuine leather upholstery from Poltrona Frau of Italy. The executive class season's shell flat seat is a lie-flat design with the ability to lower armrests to the same height as the seat when reclined. Premium economy is a recent addition. It was first introduced on the Tokyo-Euro-London route on December 1, 2007. It features a shell-shaped seat that allows passengers to recline by sliding their seat forward, without having the seat in front intrude when reclining. Japan Domestic Services. On Japan Domestic Services, the airline offers first class, Class J executive class and economy class. The first-class seat is made from premium genuine leather with a seat width of about 53 cm and a seat pitch of about 130 cm. Class J features ergonomically designed reclining seats that promote relaxation by allowing passengers to move naturally and maintain a balanced posture. JAL plans to begin refitting its domestic fleet with leather seats and in-flight wireless internet service from May 2014. In-flight entertainment, Magic. JAL's in-flight entertainment system, supported by the JAL Entertainment Network, features the latest hit movies and videos, games and audio programs. There are 4 generations of the Magic system: Magic I, Magic EE, Magic II, Magic IV and the new Magic VA. Introduced on December 1, 2007, the Magic II system provides audio-video on-demand entertainment to all passengers. The number of movie, music, video and game channels on Magic II was doubled from 57 to 130 by 2008. And it is installed on all seats on Boeing 767-300ER, 777-200ER and 777-300ER aircraft. Aircraft with Magic I and Magic II have movies that automatically start when the AVOD system is turned on Euro once the aircraft reaches cruise level Euro, and economy class passengers can tune in to watch the movie in progress. And all movies restart upon completion. Executive and first class passengers have full AVOD control. Magic systems also have JAL's duty-free shopping catalog, including flight crew recommendations and a video of specials available on the flight. Magic V will feature the same entertainment as Magic II, but with a touch-screen controller, along with a handset. There will be USB ports for iPod connectivity, and an easier-to-control handset. The Magic II system is used on internationally configured Boeing 767-300 with Skylux seat, older internationally configured Boeing 767-300ER with Skylux seat, all Boeing 777-200ER, older Boeing 777-300ER with Sky Sleeper Solo Suite First Class and Shell Flat Seat Neo Business Class. The Magic IV is used on internationally configured Boeing 737-800, along with a newer look of Skylux seat. It uses 9-inch touchscreens by Panasonic EFX. The Magic V system is deploying across the fleet, with selected Boeing 767-300ERs and B787-8 getting the newest IFE. Followed by refurbished Boeing 777-300ERs and selected Boeing 767-300ER aircraft will get the Magic V along with new seats in all classes. Aircraft cameras. On most JAL international flights, on-plane cameras are available either on the wings, the belly or on the tail. When the aircraft is in the pushback, taxi, takeoff, ascent, descent, stacking, landing, and docking phases of flight, all TVs in the cabin automatically tune into the video camera outside the aircraft to provide pilot vision to the passengers. Additional media, Skyward, the airline group's in-flight magazine, reflecting the company motto of Dream Skyward. Prior to the merger with JAS, JAL's in-flight magazine was called Wines. All of the JAL Group magazines are provided by JALUX. In June 2006, JAL announced a promotion featuring the Nintendo DS Lite. Between June 1 and August 31, all executive and first-class passengers would be offered use of Nintendo DS Lite specially manufactured for air travel, with the wireless capabilities removed in order to conform with airline safety standards. In-flight catering, Japan Airlines offers meals on intercontinental routes, depending on the cabin class, destination and flight length. Western and Japanese menu selections are typically offered, including seasonal menu selections varied by destination. Special meal offerings can be requested in each class during booking, including children's, religious, vegetarian, and other meals. Sakura Lounge, named after the Japanese word for cherry blossom, is Japan Airlines' signature lounge. In addition, the airline also operates the following international, including First Class Lounge, Sakura Lounge Annex and JAL Lounge. And domestic lounges, including Diamond Premier Lounge and JAL Lounge. Access to the lounges depend on the class of travel or the membership status in the JAL Mileage Bank or JAL Global Club. The Sakura Lounge offers complimentary beverages, including juice, soda drinks, coffee, tea, mineral water and alcohol drinks, and snacks. A variety of reading materials are also available, such as major, local and sports newspapers, weekly magazines and economy books. Business services include public phones, fax and copy machines, and connect personal computer for internet communication using the wire LAN and the wireless LAN available in the Sakura lounges. JAL Mileage Bank. JAL Mileage Bank is the travel rewards program of JAL Group, including Japan Airlines, JALways, JAL Express, Japan Transocean Air, Japan Air Commuter, Hokkaido Air System and Ryukyu Air Commuter. The program's airline partners also include JAL's Oneworld partners, as well as Air France, China Eastern Airlines and Emirates. For the airline's most frequent flyers, JMB offers Fly-On Program, a frequent flyer service status program, and JAL Global Club, an exclusive club designed for experienced travelers. The JMB program has no membership fee and mileage will be valid to the last day of the 36th month following the month of the flight or transaction date. In addition, if a JMB member does not accumulate mileage within 36 months after becoming a member, or a JMB member's account remains inactive at zero mileage for a consecutive 36-month period, JAL may withdraw or cancel the membership of such member. JMB Fly-On Program. The Fly-On Program is the frequent flyer service status program and is divided into 4 membership levels: Crystal, Sapphire, Jgc Premier and Diamond, based on the member's travel in the last calendar year. Additionally, a minimum of 4 JAL Group flights on eligible fare classes are required. Members earn Fly-On points on eligible fare classes on JAL Group and Oneworld member airlines. These are used to calculate the member's eligibility for membership renewal, upgrade or downgrade during the membership year. Higher-tiered members are provided with increased travel benefits such as bonus mileage, additional baggage allowance, priority boarding and airport lounge access. There are 2 phases to the Fly-On program service benefits. One begins after 2 months following qualification for membership and the other begins from April of the following year. Membership is valid until March 31st of the second year following membership qualification. Crystal. Crystal level is achieved or retained when a member earns 30,000 Fly-On points or boarding more than 30 flights and minimum of 10,000 Fly-On points. Services and benefits after 2 months of membership qualification include priority wait listing, 50% bonus mileage, airport lounge access for Japan domestic flights with lounge coupons via mileage deduction, priority check-in at executive class counters for international flights, Jgc counters and priority baggage for Class J on JAL Group domestic flights, 10 kg or 1 piece of extra baggage allowance, priority boarding on international flights, priority airport standby and Class J upgrade with Class J coupon via mileage deduction. Services and benefits from April of the following year include 10 upgrade points for complimentary flight upgrades. JMB Crystal membership level is equivalent to Oneworld Ruby tier status, which entitles members to Oneworld Ruby benefits when traveling on Oneworld member airline. Sapphire. Sapphire level is achieved or retained when the member earns 50,000 Fly-On points or boarding more than 50 flights and minimum of 15,000 Fly-On points. Additional services and benefits for Sapphire members after 2 months of membership qualification include 100% bonus mileage, JAL or Sakura Lounge access with one guest when flying on JAL Group airline flights. Priority check-in at first-class counters for international flights and Jgc counters for Japan domestic flights. Priority baggage, 20 kg or 2 pieces of extra baggage allowance and access to JAL fast security lane. Additional services and benefits for Sapphire members from April of the following year include 20 upgrade points for complimentary flight upgrades. JMB Sapphire members will be invited to join the Jgc, which is dedicated to cater for experienced travelers. JMB Sapphire membership level is equivalent to Oneworld Sapphire tier status, which entitles members to Oneworld Sapphire benefits when traveling on Oneworld member airline. Jgc Premier. Jgc Premier is achieved or retained when a member earns 80,000 fly-on points or boarding more than 80 flights and minimum of 25,000 fly-on points. Additional services and benefits for Jgc Premier members after 2 months of membership qualification include mileage expiry suspension during membership period, first class and Diamond/Premier Lounge access with one guest when flying on JAL Group airline flights, and priority check-in at first-class counters and priority boarding for both international and domestic flights. Additional services and benefits for Jgc Premier members from April of the following year include 3 complimentary transferable JAL and Sakura Lounge coupons, 30 upgrade points for complimentary flight upgrades, 1 complimentary JAL Hotels one-night stay coupon, 5 complimentary passes to the Century 21 Club and 1 flower gift coupon. Jgc Premier membership level is equivalent to Oneworld Emerald tier status, which entitles members to Oneworld Emerald benefits when traveling on Oneworld member airline. Diamond, the highest membership level in the fly-on program of the JAL Mileage Bank. Diamond level is achieved or retained when a member earns 100,000 fly-on points or boarding more than 120 flights and minimum of 35,000 fly-on points. Additional services and benefits for Diamond members after 2 months of membership qualification include 125% bonus mileage and any seat award tickets with double mileage deduction. Additional services and benefits for Diamond members from April of the following year include 40 upgrade points for complimentary flight upgrades, 2 complimentary JAL Hotels one-night stay coupons and Century 21 Club membership. JMB Diamond membership level is equivalent to Oneworld Emerald tier status, which entitles members to Oneworld Emerald benefits when traveling on Oneworld member airline. JAL Global Club. The JAL Global Club is an exclusive club dedicated to catering to JAL Group's most experienced and valuable travelers. Membership is available to JMB members who have earned 50,000 fly-on points or boarding more than 50 flights and minimum of 15,000 fly-on points. In addition, membership can be enrolled under JAL Club A, Club A Gold or JAL's Diners Club membership after payment of an annual fee. Lifetime membership will be given as long as a one-time qualifying member continues to pay the JAL annual fee. The Oneworld tier status as a Jgc member will depend on the JMB fly-on program membership levels, with the following exception: Jgc members will automatically attain Oneworld Sapphire status upon enrollment, regardless of the number of fly-on points accumulated in the previous calendar year. Jgc benefits include 3,000 bonus miles for the first JAL Group eligible flight flown every year, JAL or Sakura Lounge access with one guest, priority baggage, 20 kg or 2 pieces of extra baggage allowance, priority check-in, personalized leather baggage tags, annual gifts of a calendar and a diary and exclusive use of member lounges at designated hotels. In addition, JAL Club A, Club A Gold and JAL Diners Club holders receive 35% JAL flight bonus mileage. In popular culture, Japan Airlines has been the focus of several television programs in Japan over the years, most being dramas revolving around cabin attendants. Attention Please was a drama in 1970 that followed the story of a young girl who joins JAL to be a cabin attendant while overcoming many difficulties. This show was remade in 2006 again as Attention Please starring Aya Ito, who joins a class of cabin attendant nominees and later graduates. Most of the action of the story of the 2006 series takes place at JAL's Haneda Flight Operations Headquarters. The series has had 2 specials since the original, marking the main character's transition into JAL's international operations. During the 1980s, JAL was also the focus of another drama entitled Stewardess Monogatari, which featured another young girl during training to be a JAL cabin attendant. During the 1990s, JAL featured several commercials with celebrities, including Janet Jackson, who danced and sang to a backdrop of JAL 747s on rotation. The airline has also been mentioned or shown in anime as well. One of those were K-On! The movie, where a JAL 777 in J-Bird livery was used on a flight from Narita to London Heathrow. A JAL 747 was also shown in the beginning of the live-action version of Prince of Tennis movie, Incidents and Accidents. See also: Air transport in Japan, list of airports in Japan, list of companies of Japan, transport in Japan, references. External links: official website, corporate website, japanair.com, JAL Creative.